Good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending the Calumet Theater's production of Acting Can Be Murder. This is put on by your local Calumet High School Drama Club and directed by Ryan Watt, one of 3 in the Upper Peninsula.
Ryan Watt?
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, hopefully this is the only mishaps we'll have for the entire evening. She meets Matthew. So, just a little disclaimer, there are some flashing lights during our production, so just be aware of that. We'd also like you to silence your cell phones and keep all of yourselves and personal belongings out of the aisles. We'd also like to let you know that there will be pop and chips sold during intermission in the lobby. Thank you all for coming and enjoy the show. Excuse me while I catch my breath. Have you ever murdered anyone and hid the body? Let me tell you, it is not as easy as it looks in the movie. Who did I murder? Here, Guinevere Black. She was one tough cookie to knock over. Very stout for her age. Why did I do such a dastardly thing, you may ask? She had it coming. She was terribly arrogant. Let me explain. You see, I'm playing Clarice Dubois, who owns this quaint Victorian manor you see here. That picture above the fireplace used to be that picture of Guinevere I showed you a moment ago. That was back when she was playing Clarice. But after Guinevere ran off to Europe, leaving the cast and director high and dry, they were forced to bring in her understudy, yours truly. What is this world coming to when you have to kill a body just to land a decent part in a play? I mean, really? You're just dying to know how I did it, aren't you? There it is, right over there, the candlestick I used. I researched for weeks, figuring out exactly where in the back of her head I should strike. The candlestick is serving as one of the props in the play. Isn't that fun? Guess where I hid the body? You already know, don't you? You just keep quiet in there and don't give me away. I just cracked myself up. I bet you're like all the others who think I should be nothing but an understudy, that I don't have the talent it takes to be a star. Well, to that, I have one thing to say. Blah on you! Dolores? Who are you talking to? Beverly! How long have you been standing there? I just came in. Is there anybody out there? Just a few people. I was performing a monologue for them. I don't see anyone. Well, I was only pretending there were people out there, silly, so that I could rehearse my monologue in front of an audience. It helps me get into character. That's all. Oh, okay. When did you come in? Just a few minutes ago. Mr. Fisher let me in. Lloyd let you in? That's odd. He said he was going to be out of town this week, today, and he asked me if I could open the theater. I just took it for granted it was Mr. Fisher who unlocked the door. All I know is that it was certainly unlocked. You see, I had to return a scarf over at Ratliff's dress shop before they closed. Well, no use going all the way back home before rehearsals. That makes sense. How do you like the set? Isn't it marvelous? Simply adorable. It makes me want to move right in. And how is it seeing your likeness bigger than life, like a star? The only thing I'm not so crazy about is this chest for a coffee table. I think it's perfect. It certainly sets off that antique look you were after.
Perhaps we can move it to a different part of the stage.
Oh no, Beverly. It belongs front and center, if you ask me. That way everyone can see and appreciate its rustic characteristics.
I guess.
Beverly, I simply adore the dress. It fits me perfectly.
And you were afraid it wouldn't be done in time for the first dress rehearsal.
I think I'll go back to my dressing room and freshen up a bit. Beverly, I can't thank you enough for giving me this chance. I won't let you down.
You're welcome, Dolores.
Hi, Beverly. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, it's fine. I just came in myself.
I brought these pictures in from home. This one's my favorite. Isn't she beautiful?
That's an awfully expensive-looking picture you got there.
Nah, it's been sitting in the back of my closet collecting dust. I think I got it at a yard sale once.
Janet, do you know if Floyd locked the theater last night?
Yes, he and I were the last to leave.
But are you sure he locked it?
Let me think. Yes, because right after Lloyd left, I remembered I had forgotten my script in the theater, so I went back to get it. But the door was securely bolted.
That's odd. Dolores said the door was unlocked when she came in.
Perhaps someone came by earlier today? Lloyd and I are the only ones with the key, and he went to Gladstone to deliver a bookcase he built for his aunt.
That's me if I go to the theater tonight.
That's odd. What's this?
Oh, I was rearranging a couple props. I hope you don't mind.
No, I mean this candlestick. Where did it come from?
You brought it in last week, remember?
I brought in the candlestick, but not this one. Feel how heavy it is? The one I brought in is plastic. This one's the real deal.
Perhaps another cast member brought it in.
I sure hate to get hit over the head with that heavy thing.
Why did you say that?
Say what?
You said someone was hit over the head with a candlestick.
No, she didn't, Dolores.
I'm not sure why you had to move it from the end table.
It's fine. If you think it looks better, it can go back.
Oh, do excuse me, Janet. You're in charge of props. You have the right to move anything anywhere you like. Yeah, Dolores, you know who brought it in? Actually, I did. It was my grandmother's grandmother, or something like that. But I think it was meant for me to have it, though, so that it might be used for a higher purpose.
Dolores, I'm so happy that you consider this that you're so excited about the play, but I'd hardly consider a community theater production a higher purpose.
I'm here. Is it time yet?
Not yet, Albert. Sorry.
Darn!
I have done the deed. Did thou not hear a noise?
I've heard the owl scream and the cricket cry. Did you not speak?
When?
Now.
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Oh, Macbeth was such a fun play to do. If only I could have actually played Lady Macbeth in that one.
Oh, that's right. You were Guinevere's understudy in that one, too, weren't you?
I have to go get a stronger wire for the back of my picture. It's good to see you, Mr. Weaver.
Always a pleasure, Janet. Beverly, I think it's time we do another Shakespeare play. Everyone said they enjoyed Macbeth. Indeed, Shakespeare is a master. However, there is nothing like a good murder mystery for my taste.
You were a wonderful Macbeth, Mr. Weaver.
Don't forget, Dolores, call me Howard.
Oh, Howard.
Now that I have my two leads together, I want to go over a couple notes. I felt like the pacing was a little bit off last night. If you guys could pick up the pace, that would be great.
Isn't it a lovely piece of furniture, Howard?
Also, if someone misses their cue, if you guys could cover up as much as possible, amazing! It's built by a true craftsman, that's for sure. Well, I guess those are all the notes I have for today.
Did Georgia finally decide to sell it to you?
Not yet, but I'm not the kind to give up so easily. Well, I'm gonna go help Janet with this props backstage. Don't mind me, I'll let myself out. It's so sturdy,
So strong,
so well put together,
so well built,
so much character.
such masculine vitality.
I beg your pardon?
I was talking about your chest. I mean, the chest. I love your chest.
It goes without saying that this is a classic piece of furniture.
Speaking of your dead wife,
Were we?
did that slip out about your poor Perhaps Georgia will give in and let you have it.
I'll ask her when she gets here. Now let's talk about us.
Us?
Yes, the scene that's coming up tonight.
Oh, that.
Here we go all. Hello, Dolores, Mr. Weaver. I thought I would never find it. My, but the set does look nice. I believe it'll help us all get into character, don't you?
Georgia, what are you doing?
Oh, hello, Mrs. Stiles.
Help me, dear. There you are. I just want to be sure that it doesn't get scuffed up. This is a very old piece of furniture, you know.
We were just discussing its beauty before you came in. Mrs. Stiles, I'd like to ask you to reconsider selling the chest to me once the play is over.
Sell my priceless antique? Come now, Mr. Weaver. Would one sell the Mona Lisa?
Like I said before, I'm prepared to pay what it's worth.
As I have said before, my dear Mr. Weaver, I would never attempt to put a price on this rare family heirloom. The mere thought of it makes it hard for me to breathe. Besides, all you would do is turn around and sell it at that shoddy little antique shop of yours.
But that's just it, Mrs. Stiles. I want to display it in the front window of my shop. That way dozens of people can admire and appreciate it on a daily basis.
The answer is still no, and I don't intend on discussing it any further. I did not obtain my wealth by making foolish business deals.
No, you made it when your rich husband died.
Well, Dolores Gordon, why don't we come right out and say what we think?
Oh, don't get me wrong, Georgia. I agree that you should keep the chest at home where you can admire it and appreciate it every day.
Admire it? On the contrary, I think it's rather ugly. I keep it stored up in the attic underneath some quilts my grandmother made me.
But it's a masterpiece that should be shared with the world.
Or at least used to store things. Quilts, winter clothes, bodies.
Bodies?
Bodies.
I said bonnets, not bodies. I mean, who would want to store a dead body inside an antique chest? I mean, what would that prove?
I mean, if you did want to get rid of someone, this would be a good place to store their body after you've killed them.
Or if the person were too tall, you could always chop the body up so it would fit better.
Oh, Mr. Weaver, stop! I can't breathe!
You lay a hand on him again, I'll hit you over the head with a candlestick and stuff you with that chest.
Well, it sounds as if everyone's in a good mood for tonight's rehearsal. Georgia, I love the costume on you.
Thank you. Playing domestic servant has certainly been a challenge for me. I'm used to being the one who tells the servants what to do.
That's why they call it acting. We were just having a little fun talking about murder. Quite appropriate, since what we're rehearsing is a murder mystery.
Yes, well, I should check my makeup. Dolores, dear, would you like for me to do your makeup for you?
But I have already done my makeup.
You didn't understand what I meant, dear. Would you like for me to do your makeup?
I'm not sure I should leave her.
Leave who?
Beverly, she might need my help.
No, I'm quite all right, Dolores. Go ahead.
I guess it shouldn't take that long.
Mr. Weaver, does this look straight? A little that way. There.
Beverly! Is it time yet?
Not yet, Albert.
Darn!
There. It'll all be all right in the long run.
What happened to Isabella?
She just received terrible news, Miss Gladstone.
Here, bring her over to the sofa so she can relax. Terrible news? What is it?
I'll let Isabella tell you. Sorry. She says she caught her husband of 15 years
tears. If only I knew who the biddy he had been meeting was.
Wait, you don't know who the other woman is?
No, only someone with the initials RG.
RG.
Miss Gordon, Miss Stiles asked me to tell you she needs to take your makeup backstage. Is something the matter, Isabella?
Janet, would you be kind enough to take Isabella backstage so that she can freshen up? Dolores, your makeup, please. We need to start rehearsal.
Well, all right, but I'll hurry.
Olivia, how does the costume feel?
Fine, thank you, Miss Gladstone. I'm just worried about Isabella. How could I never be so cruel to another human being?
Her husband's a rat. She's better off without him.
I hope so. Poor girl. She's so nice, too. I'll have to see if I can.
You'll have to see if you can what?
Nothing.
Olivia, you've been almost letting the secret spill for 2 weeks now. Why don't you go ahead and just let it out?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Olivia, you're a good actress, but not that good. Beverly, can't you see the girl doesn't want to reveal her secret? Now please, be professional enough to allow sweet Olivia here her privacy. You're right, Mr. Weaver. However, this will bug me all night. But fine, I'll go help Janet with the props. All right, now you tell me your secret, little lady, or I swear to it, you'll never work in this town again.
You wouldn't do that, Mr. Weaver, would you?
Of course not. I'm sorry, Olivia. You have every right to keep your dirty, little, insignificant secret to yourself. When you feel you're ready to tell someone, I'll be in the back going over my lines.
Don't move!
Oh,
I told you not to move.
Jeffrey Chance, how dare you scare me that way?
Scare you? On the contrary, my firearm is loaded only with Cupid's persuasive arrows. One hit to the heart, and you fall head over heels for me. So we say all, do you go out with me, or I have to fire?
My name is Olivia, and as you can see, I'm very busy.
Don't worry, it's only a prop. In case you're interested, I drove you tonight in my convertible.
And you still managed to stay looking perfect.
Yes, I did. You wouldn't believe my car. The power, the speed, the smooth handling. Taking all those corners to get you is so fun. Passing up everybody in the street. Yes, ma'am. I'm born for adventure. You give me a fast engine under my hood, and I'm a happy, happy man. So what do you say, Olive? Do you go out with me?
Let me think. No! Oh, were those your fingers? I'm so sorry, Jerry.
My name's Jeffrey.
A skunk by any other name is still a skunk.
So what you're saying is, I got a chance, right? She's crazy about me.
How does the costume fit, Jeffrey?
Pretty good. I had to take it in a little bit, though.
Why?
I needed to soak my physique a little bit better. Especially when it's stuck in my stomach. See?
Why don't you put your muscles to use and help me move this chest?
Sure.
Okay, so it needs to go that way a little bit on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. That's odd. That's a lot heavier than I thought it would be.
What's inside?
Nothing, or so I thought. Perhaps Janet threw some props in there. Grab these and I'll look. Dolores, are you all right? Jeffrey, help me get her to the couch.
Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. I felt faint for a moment. I didn't mean to give you a start.
Is there anything we can get you, Dolores?
No, dear. I hate to ask you to fuss over me.
Okay.
Well, on second thought, I could go for a cold glass of water if it isn't too much trouble.
Not at all. I'll get it.
And a cold compress would be nice, but I hate to ask you to fuss over me with everything you have to do.
What kind of director would I be if I didn't take care of my female lead?
You're too sweet.
Just stay right there. I'll be right back.
Take your time, dearie. I don't want any fuss made over me. Oh dear, sweet Guinevere, if they open this chest, it's all over. Should I move you to another location? No. Keep calm, Dolores Gordon. Keep calm. I can't become hysterical. I can't become paranoid. No one is on to me. No one. It's just that every time I'm thinking about what Beverly said to me, the prouder I am of what I did. Would you mind very much serving as Guinevere's understudy again? You're so dependable. Ha! I showed you, dear Guinevere, and I'll show the rest of them. I'll be the star I was born to be. And they will applaud and wonder why they never gave me a part in one of their plays in the first place. After I take my bows each night, I will pose for a few pictures and sign a few autographs. Then, when all the lights are out and the theater grows dark, I'll come back for you, Guinevere. That's right. I'll take you and I'll throw you to the bottom of the river, just as I had planned all along. And no one will stand in the way of that plan. Not Beverly, not Janet, not Alice.
Hello, Dolores.
Am I interrupting something?
There she is, the star of our show. Let's give it up for Madame Dubois.
You two are up to no good. I can tell.
Us? Well, why, we were just talking fishing and hunting, that's all.
Why were you looking so suspicious if you were only talking fishing and hunting, Mr. Fisher?
Come now, Dolores. Do we really look as if we're up to something? Why, you couldn't find two more boring gentlemen if you tried.
It's just that.
Just look at that dress. Before you adorned it, it was merely a dress, plain and simple, but now it is nothing short of a heavenly.
Oh, Howard, I couldn't agree with you more.
Was there something we could help you with?
Oh, yes. Have either of you seen Alice Oldacre?
I don't think she's here yet, Miss Gordon.
She probably has been here, snooping where she has no business snooping. I haven't had the courage to ask her questions.
Alice Oldacre? A sneak?
Only the worst kind. Always eavesdropping on personal conversations. Ruthless.
I admit, Ms. Oldacre can be a bit mysterious, but I couldn't imagine that she'd mean any harm.
I don't trust her any more than I trust the two of you. Separating yourselves from the others, whispering the way you were.
Perhaps this murder mystery has gotten you on edge a bit.
You couldn't wait to use that word, could you?
What word is that?
Murder! You think you're so clever with all your charm and your animal magnetism, and to think I was somewhat smitten with you, Howard Weaver. I am equally ashamed of you, Mr. Fisher. You're the one who's supposed to be keeping this place together. You should be fixing the cracks in the wall instead of standing around scheming.
Miss Gordon, I don't mean any disrespect, but I have no idea what you're talking about. What's wrong with the set?
What's wrong? Cracks in the walls! There's one right there.
Where?
In the wall, right there. Show him, Howard.
Over here?
I don't see a thing.
Why, there's nothing wrong with that wall, Miss Gordon.
Miss Gordon? Be sure to disappear quick.
At least she's gone. Now, listen closely, Lloyd. Are you sure you've hidden it where no one will find it?
I hid it nice and safe, all right. I took her out last night after everyone left. It took some doing, but I finally got her out.
And you're sure no one saw you?
Not a soul. I was as sly as a fox.
Okay, don't forget, Lloyd, this is our little secret. No one, and I mean no one, is to know about this, right?
Don't worry, Miss Weaver. No one will find out.
I hope you're right. Oh, by the way, how much do I owe you?
75. Should cover it.
All right. Well, I better go check my props backstage. See you later, Lloyd.
Okay, Weaver.
No, it couldn't be. There's no way they could know. I've been too careful. Dolores? talking about something else entirely. But then again,
Miss Gordon, have you seen Beverly?
I was just rearranging the items here on the chest. That's all, Janet.
Miss Gordon,
Yes?
are you feeling all right? You're looking a little pale.
Yes, dear. I'm fine. I just haven't gotten much sleep the past few nights.
That's odd.
No, not really. I just wanted to make sure everything looked all right for rehearsal. I know it's your job, but
No, I was referring to the picture. It's not the one I hung yesterday. I hung the one of the beautiful lady, remember?
no, I guess I wasn't paying attention.
I just want to know why someone would want to take something that didn't belong to them.
That's what I would like to know.
Beverly!
You are still in there, aren't you, Guinevere? That's right. And Dolores will make sure no one harms you, dear. I'll start by turning the air conditioning down so you will keep better. That's right, Guinevere. I'll take care of you, and everything will be all right. Hush my baby, lie still. My mommy has gone to the mill to grind me some wheat, to make thee some meat. Oh, my dear baby, lie still.
This one, right here. It's not the one I hung yesterday.
Well, no one asked me about changing it.
I just sure hope it isn't lost. It was the one I brought from home.
Well, it's got to be around here somewhere, but we can't worry about this now. We got to start rehearsal. Dolores, did you lose something?
I don't think so.
Is it time yet?
Not yet, Albert.
Darn it, I hate this play.
As I was saying, we need to start rehearsal, so we're going to need to gather everyone. You go get the men, I'll get the ladies.
Sounds good.
There you are, you old biddy.
I beg your pardon.
I beg your pardon. You're real clever, aren't you? Sneaking around behind people's backs, eavesdropping on personal conversations. And don't pretend you don't know what I'm talking about. What I need to know is, how much did you hear?
You're wet.
Oh, so that's the game you want to play, huh? How much do you want to keep quiet? Just name your price.
Everyone's been talking about how you can run off the deep end lately, but I didn't believe them until now.
Well, if chasing your lifelong dream is going off the deep end, then maybe I am. Maybe I'm just crazy old Dolores who has nothing better to do with her free time than knock off old ladies who don't deserve their time here on Earth.
I'm sure glad to know you haven't gone crazy.
You will take my hush money and forget this conversation ever happened. Is that a deal?
It's a deal. Whatever you say, I'll be glad to take your money.
That's more like it. I've waited a long time for this chance to be on stage, and if it doesn't happen, I don't know what I'll do.
Good heavens, Dolores Gordon. You would think this were Broadway, the way you're behaving.
It is Broadway to me, the closest I'll ever get.
This is a local amateur play, and with the exception of myself, it's being played by commoners from around town. It isn't that big of a deal.
That's what my mama told me when I won my first spelling bee. That's what my daddy told me when I made the dean's list in college. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Well, I'll have you know, it is a big deal. I've worked very hard to get this role.
Worked hard? You only got this role because Guinevere Black rushed off to Europe at the last minute. You were all they had, Dolores.
You're just saying that because you're jealous of me, Georgia Stiles. Jealous that I'm playing Madame Dubois and you are not.
Me? Jealous of you? I think it is high time you knew something, Miss Broadway star.
Georgia, no.
I could have played Madame Dubois. Beverly offered the role to me after Guinevere had rushed off, and I turned her down.
What?
That's right. And after I turned her down, she offered the role to Alice, and then to Isabella, and then to Olivia. And for one reason or another, they all turned down the role too. And that is the only reason why you are playing the lead. You, Dolores Gordon, were the last resort.
I don't believe you.
That's because you live in some type of fantasy world
what she said true, Alice? You've really done it now, Georgia.
And we've all been secretly hoping that Guinevere would surprise us by coming back to rehearsals and taking her lead role back. And so we could take this hideous portrait of you off the wall once and for all.
Well, Georgia, now you're being unnecessarily cruel. Dolores, I think you're doing a splendid job, Gomez. Just splendid. We all do.
I can guarantee you that Guinevere Black never dug in the doors of this theater ever again.
You don't know that.
Oh, but I do. And you know how I know? Because she left on account of you.
Me? Don't be ridiculous.
I asked her to stay and stick it out for the rest of us, but she said she had had enough of your sassy, sarcastic, and arrogant ways.
You know what I like about doing a nice play like this? It's how we all become like a little family.
Vagabond!
Self-important hag!
We learn to work together,
Commoner!
Aristocratic wannabe!
to respect one another.
May the bird of paradise fly up your nose!
It would rather fly up yours where there's more room to build its nest.
Are you calling my nose big?
No comment. Pinocchio!
Love can build a bridge.
It's so nice seeing my female lead getting a strong bone before rehearsal.
I'm sorry, young man. I just don't believe I can agree with you on that point.
Don't you see, Dr. Fairfax, if Madame Dubois was so careless with the murder, Detective Blake would have been on to her sooner. Don't you think so, Beverly?
Hello, Dr. Fairfax, Officer Biddle. What are you talking about?
Mr. Biddle here doesn't believe his character should be that easily fooled.
That's right. Detective Blake should already know that Madame Dubois was not in the pantry, but committing the murder instead.
I tried to explain that if that were the case, the mystery would be solved too soon in the play.
I just think it makes my character look inept. That's all. The fact that I'm a real police officer here in town should matter. And if people who come to see the show see me acting incompetent, they may start believing it.
But I'm really a doctor, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm playing a butler in the play.
Officer Biddle, I do not know our audience is shallow enough to confuse characters in a play with the actors playing the characters. Besides, Which Butler Did It is a classic murder mystery and does not need to be rewritten.
Come over here, Miss Gordon. Please, let me show you what I mean.
Oh, I don't think Dolores is feeling much like acting right now. Do you, dear?
Of course I do, because I am a professional, dear. Go ahead, Officer Biddle.
Let's start with my line. Mr. Ball, where were you at precisely 9:05 this evening when everyone else was in the garden?
Are you supposing me of murder, Mr. Biddle?
I'm merely doing my job. Now, if you would kindly answer my question. Dolores Gordon, did you sneak into the theater last night before everyone else arrived and murdered Guinevere Black?
What did you say?
I said, Madame Dubois, where were you at precisely 9:05 this evening when everyone else was in the garden?
That's not what you said.
It isn't?
Is something the matter, Dolores?
She's only being professional.
He changed his line. Why would you do that?
No, I didn't, Miss Gordon. That's the way it's written in the script.
Oh, I guess I must have heard you wrong. Let's continue the scene. Say your line again, please.
Mr. Dubois, where were you at precisely 9:05 this evening when everyone else was in the garden?
I went to the pantry to fetch some olives for martinis, you fool.
Now I think this is where Detective Blake should ask. Don't you usually have your servants do menial tasks such as fetching items from the pantry?
Maybe. Go back in character and say it again.
Go back to your last line, please.
I went to the pantry to fetch some olives for martinis, you fool.
Don't you usually have your servants do menial tasks such as knocking someone over the head with a candlestick and stuffing the body inside of a large wooden chest? See?
You know, I think you're right.
You did it again! You don't think we need to change the line, Dolores? No. Changing the line is fine if Beverly agrees to it.
Okay, you can keep the additional line.
Great, thanks, Beverly.
Okay, if everyone will take murder. Howard! Howard, are you in place? Howard! Where did he go?
Pull yourself together, Dolores Gordon. You are hearing things. It's that overactive imagination of yours. Well, it couldn't hurt. No, I can't look. What am I thinking? If you're not in there, I can't go on with rehearsal. What am I saying? I can't go on at all. But they know. Don't they? Janet, could you come out here, please? Guinevere? Howard!
Sorry about that, Miss Gordon. Did you need something?
Janet, is that really you?
Miss Gordon, are you feeling all right?
Is it a joke, Janet? You can tell me if it is. Did Alice say something to you? It's just you and me here.
Is what a joke, Miss Gordon? Did Alice say something about what?
You wouldn't do something so cruel, would you, dear? Sweet Janet, not to an old woman like me.
Beverly!
After all, I've known you since you were a little girl. Yes, what is it?
It's Miss Gordon. She's saying some strange things again.
Is something the matter, Dolores? The props, they're on the floor. That's why I called Janet.
Don't worry, Dolores. I'll get them.
Is there anything else we can get you? No, I'm ready to start, dear. You see, I'm a professional. I hope you are. You really are.
Well, everything's back in order. Here's the martini glass you'll need for this scene.
Try and relax, Dolores. Everything will run as smooth as silk. Places, everyone! Curtain!
Hey, is it time yet?
Not yet, Albert.
Darn!
Curtain! I am a professional. Professional? Curtain! Oh, madame, I do believe you get more and more beautiful every day. Cheers to you. Throwing the servants a dinner party to show my appreciation was a splendid idea. They'll be loyal to me for the rest of their dreary lives. Madame Dubois. Rogers, come in. Rogers, what are you doing with that tray? The party is for you and the rest of the servants.
I'm sorry, madam, but some habits are hard to break.
Isn't the dinner party going splendidly? Is everyone having a good time?
They were, madam, until something tragic happened.
Tragic? Oh dear, did we run out of shrimp?
No, Madame Dubois, I'm afraid one of your butlers has been murdered.
Murdered? How dreadful! Which servant was it? Rogers?
No, madam, I am Rogers. It was Wallace.
But he was my favorite one.
Thought I was your favorite, Madame Dubois.
Don't make me laugh.
Everyone is quite upset, madam. What should we do?
I'll call the employment agency first thing in the morning and have them send over a few applicants for me to interview.
But shouldn't the police be called, madam?
Police? At one of my dinner parties? How inappropriate!
I'm sorry, Madame Dubois, but someone has been murdered.
Very well. The phone is over there. You'd think someone would have the decency to wait to be murdered until after my dinner party? What is the world coming to?
Yes, hello, police. I'd like to report a murder. The Dubois estate. Thank you.
Madame Dubois, it's just awful blood everywhere. There, dear. You won't have to He was like a servant to me. Now, one of your own has been brutally murdered. The only question is, which butler did it?
Madame, what of us?
But he was like family.
Thank you, Rogers. Fall in line.
I don't know when the maids did murder once, but what?
Well, just look at those fragile things. They couldn't cut a wet noodle with a fork. How do you expect them to stab a large, strong man like Wallace in the chest, then twist the knife 360 degrees without breaking a nail? No, I'm afraid this murder was committed by a man.
Madame Dubois! I saw him argue with Wallace only minutes before the murder.
I heard him say that he wished Wallace were dead.
I heard Haas say so get even with him one day.
Rogers did it. He has the murder weapon hidden in his coat. I saw it.
That's absurd! I was only going to cut up cucumber for the shrimp salad. Everyone, calm yourself. You're becoming hysterical.
That's good advice, madam. Advice I think you should follow yourself.
Excuse me, sir, but you're trespassing on private property.
The name's Lieutenant Biddle, private investigator.
It seems there has been a murder in my garden, Lieutenant.
Murder. Huh. So that's who I stepped over on the patio just now. Beverly, I hate that line. It makes me sound so stupid. Were these people present at the time of the murder?
Yes, Lieutenant. I was throwing a little appreciation dinner for my staff. I'm convinced the murder was committed by one of my butlers, since the knife had to go through Guinevere's chest through the ribcage. Oh, excuse me. What I meant was that it was committed by one of the butlers, since the candlestick had to go through the knife had to go through the victim's chest. A female couldn't pull that one off.
Oh, so you've seen the murdered victim's body?
No.
So then how do you know where he was stabbed?
Are you questioning me, Lieutenant? Madame Dubois?
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, madam, but everyone in this room is a suspect until I get to the bottom of my investigation. And I don't want to hear a peep out of anyone. Now, everyone, be quiet!
Who's that? Janet! I'm right here. It came from that way. Albert!
Is it time yet?
Over backstage!
No, that wasn't me.
I'll go check it out. Officer Biddle, come with me.
Oh, let me go. I was born for adventure.
Come on, Howard, we'll take care of this.
I wonder who it could have been, since everyone's on stage.
Lloyd, you scared us to death. I thought you had left.
Well, I did, Miss Gladstone. Then I've been beginning to wonder if I had hidden the
If you had hidden what? Didn't you mean you came back to get your toolbox you forgot earlier?
Yes, sir. That's what I meant. I forgot my toolbox.
Then what was that noise we heard?
Well, when I was grabbing my toolbox off the shelf, it slipped and fell on my foot. That's why I yelled.
Poor thing, are you alright?
I should be fine. I'm sorry. I meant to slip in and out unnoticed.
Well, we're just glad you're all right, Lloyd. If anything happened to you, we'd all be in a fix.
Well, since you're alright, we need to get back to rehearsal. Can you stand, Lloyd?
I think so. Don't mind me. Just let me gather my things.
Okay, so we'll take it back a few pages. Dolores, if you would. Dolores, where did you go?
I'm right here.
Dolores, you look as though you've seen a ghost.
Do I? Do you believe in them?
Do I believe in what?
Ghosts, specters, spirits that return from the chest. I mean, wait.
Really, Beverly? I don't see how we can get anything done with all of these distractions.
I just think everyone needs to get a hold of this.
Officer Biddle, are you all right?
keep your things off the floor. A person could hurt himself.
Sorry about that, Officer Biddle.
Lloyd, didn't you say you dropped your toolbox backstage?
Well,
That was his other toolbox, right, Lloyd?
yes, sir. That was my other toolbox.
Something fishy's going on here.
Oh, good heavens. There he goes with that detective look in his eyes again. There is nothing going on here that you need to concern yourself over.
Of course, there aren't any such thing as ghosts. I've never believed in them. Never.
Perhaps this murder mystery is getting to everyone. Next time we should put on a romantic comedy.
Why, yes, that's an excellent idea. Perhaps we could write our own. About a man who has a fling with every woman in town. And his poor, naive wife has no idea what's going on.
This style you have gone too far.
No, she's absolutely right. I was a fool. Everyone but I knew what he was doing behind my back.
Now look what you've done.
Isabella! Well, it isn't my fault that she can't handle the truth.
Speaking of the truth, everyone should know about you and Officer Biddle going on your secret little dates.
Well, I never.
Well, I never too. That whole rumor about Miss Styles liking younger men and asking me out after her rich husband died is simply not true.
Everyone, please calm down!
You sit down right this instant, Mr. Biddle. I don't recall anyone talking to you at all.
All right, Lloyd, come on. I'll help you get your tools to the car.
Good
Wait,
idea.
we need to rehearse.
I'm sorry, Beverly. I'm afraid I'm too distraught to rehearse.
Georgia, I mean Miss Styles!
Anyone! Would anyone please get my cast back on stage so we can rehearse and go home? Anyone!
But I checked for breathing, and there wasn't any. I felt your pulse, and you were dead, dead! This is all a game to them. They're trying to break me.
Why did you do it?
Of all the people in the world, you're the last I expected to pull off something so criminal.
Usually it is the people we least expect to do something so evil.
Look at her. Is she even conscious?
She's in shock, most likely. Usually it pushes a person so far over the edge when they murder someone they know so well that the murderer checks out from reality.
Hello?
That's the first word she's spoken in hours. Do you know who I am?
Mother? Is that you? Please don't lock me in the cellar again. Please. I promise I'll be good.
She's becoming more unhinged mentally.
I think she's simply putting us on. She's hoping that if she acts insane enough, she won't have to go to prison.
Can you hear me?
Mother? Where are you, Mother? Daddy? Do you know where Mother is?
It's okay, we're friends. We want to help you. If you will only let us.
But how could you possibly want to help me after what I've done? After committing something so unforgivable?
Then help us understand why you did it.
You couldn't possibly understand. But when I held that candlestick in my hand, I felt true power for the first time in my life. Power over whether or not another human being lives or dies. What did I say?
You keep saying candlestick instead of knife. What if you slipped that way on the night of her performance?
Did I? Oh dear, I didn't even realize it. It's all right, Dolores. You'll get it right eventually. I don't know, Beverly. I've seen Candlestick 3 nights in a row and we're opening so soon. Could you excuse us for a moment?
Not to worry. Dolores, we know you'll do fine.
I'm so sorry, Beverly. I seem to be letting everyone down.
Don't let your nerves get the best of you. Think positive thoughts. And Dolores, I didn't want to mention this in front of everybody else, but your appearance.
Oh, yes, I haven't been getting much sleep the past few nights. I keep having the same nightmare over and over.
But you have everyone counting on you. Every performance is sold out. So you need to be able to think clearly.
Why should I? Beverly, I know I was your last choice to play Madame. Oh, you do? I'm sorry about that. The ironic thing is, you were right all along. I shouldn't have been giving this part. I can't handle the pressure.
But the thing is, you have been given this part, and unlike Guinevere, you don't have an understudy, so you need to pull yourself together.
No, I can't.
Or else you'll never be the star you deserve to be.
Star? You're right, Beverly. I'll try. I really will.
Good. I can go help Janet prep for the final scene of the play.
Are you sure you're all right?
I just hope you look better than you feel.
I just hope you feel better than you look. Sorry, Dolores. I didn't mean that. Guinevere? Are you in there? It is not there. It's not what it seems. I want the person responsible for snatching Guinevere out of that chest to be man or woman enough to come clean with your little prank. I am not kidding you. You have until the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, at least I won't have to look at you for the rest of the night.
Miss Gordon, what are you doing now? that we are using, because Guinevere is not here. And this is a picture of Guinevere, which we are not using because Guinevere is not in the play.
That's because she's dead.
Fine. Believe what you want to believe. It's obvious that you're not going to listen to any of the rest of us. But please, leave the set pieces where they are.
All right, I understand. You have to carry on the little charade. All right, I'll play along. I'm glad one of you arrived safely in Europe.
Fine. What? My picture! It's back! Who? What? Beverly!
No, I haven't told anyone. I'll admit I've almost let it slip a few times, but I've always caught myself. I know we can't let it get out. I know, especially not to Dolores. Believe me, Dolores Gordon is the least of our worries. I know. I love you too. Bye.
I said I was sorry, Georgia. What more do you want from me?
How dare you blow that out to the entire cast that way? I've never been more humiliated in my entire life.
When are you going to stop being so ashamed of our love?
When you start doing as you're told, and what I told you is not to say anything to anyone until I was ready to declare love. Oh, well, luckily for me, I doubt anyone has thought any more about it with this whole Dolores Gordon going crazy situation. Look at me, world. I am the great Madame Dubois. No, wait. That's the character I'm playing on stage. What I meant to say was, I am the great Dolores Gordon. Does anyone want my autograph?
I do, Miss Gordon. I'm your biggest fan. I just loved you in that last play you did.
Let's see. Which play was that? I just can't seem to remember one thing from the next.
I'd like to announce this year's Candlestick Award to Miss Dolores Gordon.
I want to thank my mama and my daddy and my many friends, both of them, and my adoring fans. I would thank my husband if I had one, but it seems that no one wants to marry a loony bird like me, a loony bird that hallucinates her entire life just in order to escape the realities of the real world. But who cares? Because I'm a star!
If you'll excuse me, I'll go check my props backstage.
Why didn't you tell me she was sitting right there?
You didn't see her either?
That's it. She's sure to go off the edge now. And when she tells Beverly what we've done, we are never going to hear the end of it.
It'll be okay, sweetheart.
And don't call me sweetheart. I just wish this whole play were over and done with. I'm not having fun in the least.
Ah, there you are, Mrs. Stiles. Have you seen Dolores?
Yep, she went backstage that way, Dr. Fairfax. Why do you ask?
I wanted to give her a sedative to help calm her nerves.
That is an excellent idea, Doctor. But these are pretty strong. Are you sure they're safe?
Oh, perfectly. I give them to my patients all the time. They simply help a person relax.
Let me see these.
Oh, good heavens, Mr. Biddle. You're spilling them all over creation.
Here, let me help you with these.
Can't you do anything right? Well, no, you can't put them back in there. They're contaminated.
That's true. Here. They dissolve quickly in water.
You just put those sedatives in the water that we're using for the next scene, Doctor.
I'll change it out before next rehearsal.
Okay.
Now, we must get Dolores to take these sedatives without her knowledge.
Okay, we'll go backstage and crowd her out this way. Let's go, Mr. Biddle.
Dolores, old girl, I'm sorry for what I'm about to do, but it's for your own good.
No.
There you are, Dolores. I wanted to propose a toast. I know how you've been all on edge lately, so I wanted to make you feel better. It's only water, but it'll have to do since champagne isn't available. I already have my own glass of water. Oh, well, I'm sure this is much fresher. I just poured this backstage. Oh, to a great rehearsal. superstition? You never make a toast inside the theater without first, walking around the set one time each.
I've never heard that superstition.
Why, yes, it brings the show good luck, don't you see? So we simply set our glasses down here. Now, you first.
Me first? Well, all right, I'll play along. Here I go, walking around the set. There, are you happy now?
Very.
Aren't you forgetting something, Dr. Fairfax?
I beg your pardon.
Well, shouldn't you walk around the set as well? You did say one time each, did you not?
I suppose you're right. This show is sure to be a success with all this walking we're doing. See, Dolores, you have nothing to be worried about. Yes, did you need something? To a great rehearsal and an even greater performance.
Excellent glass of water. Very good year.
Why, yes. So, how do you feel, Dolores?
Alive, Dr. Fairfax. I feel very much alive.
Well, that's good. To feel alive, I mean. Well, we're gonna start rehearsal soon. I'll see you back around stage.
And now they want to see me dead. By poison, no less. Trying to take the law into their own hands and teach me a lesson. Other. Once I am dead, they will place me in the chest and go ahead with the production in front of it. I wonder who has been chosen to play Madame Bois. Isabella? Olivia? Georgia Stiles? And because Officer Biddle is in on it, the police and the rest of the world will never be informed of their little scheme.
Ridiculous.
What they don't realize is their little poisoning plan has majorly backfired. Who's the clever one now?
There you are. Are you feeling any better?
I was just reading this love letter again. Oh, thank you.
You should stop that. It's only going to make you feel worse.
Olivia, allow me to read the last part of this letter to you. And I need you to tell me if it sounds as though he really likes this other woman, or if I'm just allowing my imagination to run wild.
Well, okay, but after that, I think you need to put the letter down.
So now I must finish my letter to you, RG. I count down the hours and the minutes until we see one another again. As soon as I can get out from under this snooping wife of mine, I will sneak out and meet you in the park. We can talk and take another nice stroll and stop for ice cream. Then I shall return to my nagging wife and be miserable until I see you again. Until then, good night, my sweetest RG. Yours always, Claude. What do you think, Olivia? Does that really sound like a love letter? Perhaps it's only a note to his sister or his aunt or maybe a buddy at work?
You know, now that I hear it, yes, it could just be a friendly letter. See, now you don't have to worry about that silly note and you can focus on rehearsal. Here, why don't you have a glass of water? It'll help you feel better.
Thank you, Olivia. I don't know what I'd do without you. If only I had known who this RG was. This water tastes a little salty.
Places, everyone!
That's our cue. We'd better get backstage.
There, and there. Is everything in place? Everything's in place, Beverly. Even the picture I brought in is mysteriously returned.
At least it's back. Is the sound effects queued up?
Yeah.
Miss Styles, I really don't think, Beverly, I'm not superstitious or anything, but it couldn't hurt. Shh. Now, don't let Dolores know you have them or they're not going to work, okay?
Is it time yet?
Yes, Albert, this is your scene.
Yes!
Ah, there we go. Take that. Thank you.
I really appreciate you all being so patient with Dolores. I hope her nerves will calm by opening night.
I'm sure they'll come before then.
Now let's see. Alice, you're supposed to be on the other end of the sofa.
Alice, dear, your hearing aid. What? Turn on your hearing aid. Oh, Beverly was speaking to you. Sorry, Beverly. She needs you to stand over there.
Okay, this is the scene where Madame Dubois is discovered to be the murderer.
Is it me? Or is it getting warm in here?
Isabella, please. The director is speaking.
Go ahead, Beverly. But it's still getting warm in here.
As I was saying, Madame Dubois is discovered to have murdered Wallace.
Hey, everyone. This is my scene. This is it.
Do lie down, Mr. Fisk. This isn't kindergarten.
Let's make this rehearsal count. We're running out of precious time. Janet, are Evan and Dolores in place?
They're in place!
Sure is getting awfully hot in here.
Olivia, take it from your line that cues both Evan and Dolores. Curtain! If all of us are innocent of this horrible crime, then who did murder poor Wallace?
I'll tell you exactly who murdered your friend and co-worker. The murderer may enter now.
You call, Lieutenant. Stop! Dolores! Madame Dubois does not wear a boa. But it's such a beautiful boa.
I'm sorry, Beverly. Dolores got into the costume closet. Now give Janet her boa.
No, you may not have the boa. For heaven's sakes, let her keep the boa.
Fine.
And don't smoke my cigar.
Is it just me or is anyone warm in here?
I'm melting like ice cubes in hell.
I'll see what I can do about turning up the AC. Dolores, take it from your line. Oh, I can't seem to remember what that is.
You called, Lieutenant?
Who said that? Janet!
Yes?
She's right there. Yes, I know. How did you do that? Never mind, Dolores. Go back. Evan, cue Dolores with your line.
I'll tell you exactly who murdered your friend and co-worker. The murderer may enter now. The murderer may enter now.
Dolores! I'm right here! Dolores, what are you doing over there? You're supposed to be entering through the French doors.
The French?
Yes, the French doors, just as always.
Oh, the French doors.
Oui, oui.
That was a good one, Dolores.
Beverly, dear, don't forget.
Yes, Miss Styles, put them away just as we all agreed. Do you know something, Officer Biddle? You sure are pretty.
I think he's pretty too. And so are you. And you.
So are you.
Hey, what about me?
Lie down, Albert. No one's pretty. Is that Madame Dubois murdered poor Wallace here?
That's right, Rogers. She just confessed to the whole thing.
Dolores, follow Edmund!
You see, Madame Dubois had it planned the whole time. While all of us were gathered in the parlor, she did not go to the pantry to fetch olives, but instead went to the kitchen to fetch a butcher knife. And while the rest of us were in the parlor, she crept behind closed doors, and when Wallace opened the door, bam! She let him have it with the knife. And then she quickly cleaned up her mess and drug his body up to the patio.
Is it true, Madame Dubois? Are you truly responsible for Wallace's murder?
But why, Madame Dubois? He was one of your best butlers.
Because, you old buzzard, I loved him.
What do you mean you loved him?
I didn't just love him. I loved him. And I would have done anything for him, anything. But did he love me? No, 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 no. He loved her. Me. Oh, don't act so surprised. You tried to take him right out from under me. Well, I took care of that. Mr. Weaver will never be interested in you.
Dolores, I must insist you stick to the script.
Oh, you insist? Do you now? Oh, little Miss Director. You just insist all you want. Why should I have to listen to you anyways?
Yeah. Why should she have to listen to you anyway?
You never wanted me in this role to begin with. I owe you nothing.
Dr. Fairfax, what was in that medicine?
I want everyone to listen to me and listen to me good. If this were any type of play at all, Madame would not have stabbed her fatum, but instead she would have clubbed them in the back of the head with some heavy object. That's how one murders a body. Dolores!
Wait a minute, Beverly. Perhaps we need to hear her out.
An object such as this candlestick here. Yes, and this would do a person in nicely. One good thwack on the head, and your victim will be dead before they hit the floor.
Beverly, why have we stopped?
Go on, Dolores.
I am on to you all. You can stop your games. You are? What I can't figure out is who stole her from me? Who took her from this very stage? Right from under all of our noses. Perhaps it was you.
Me? How did she know? You said no one would know.
Jeffrey, be quiet.
No, Mr. Weaver. I will not get a beat on this. Yes, Mrs. Gordon, I took her, but he told me to.
Mr. Chance, I'm warning you.
I snuck her out last night after rehearsal. I didn't want to, but he said no one would find out.
I knew Mr. Weaver was behind this whole thing. Where did you hide?
I hid her in the back of Mr. Weaver's car. He said he would buy me some new wheels for my sports car if I did it.
The boy's gone mad.
Oh, I love adventure as much as the next guy, but I wouldn't go to jail for anybody.
Would anyone please tell me what we're talking about? Jeffrey, you hid what in Mr. Weaver's trunk?
Guinevere Black's dead body, that. What?
Guinevere's dead? Bless her heart.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dolores. Seems the medicine I gave you was making your condition worse.
There she is. Right over there.
There? Who is, Dolores? Nobody's standing there.
I see her. Why, it's Betsy Ross. Hello, Betsy. You did a wonderful job on that play.
After he put her in the back of my car, I took her home and strung her up in the broom closet.
You did what?
I figured I'd let her hang there for a few weeks until the heat wore off. Then I would hang her up in the antique shop to see if I could attract some new customers.
You are a sick man, Mr. Weaver.
Are you telling me, Mr. Weaver, that you are confessing to putting Jeffrey up to taking Guinevere's black dead body and putting it in your trunk?
Dead body? No, the picture.
Picture? Yes, the picture of the beautiful lady Janet brought in the other day. It's an original Norman inkwell and worth quite a bit of money.
My beautiful lady? Worth money? I never knew.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Mr. Weaver.
Yeah, I had Jeffrey sneak her to my car one day after rehearsal. And then, before I brought her home, I took her to a French photography shop and had a copy made. Then I framed the copy and brought it back here so no one would know I had taken the original.
Shame. Shame.
That is very wrong of you, Mr. Weaver.
No, you took the body. You took Guinevere's body and hid it from me because I was in love with you, and that was your way of getting me out of your hair.
I'm sorry, Dolores, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Then it was Alice. Alice did it.
I did what?
You snuck on set the other day and you heard me talking about what I had done.
You mean when I walked through the French doors and you looked at me funny?
Exactly. You heard everything. Admit it.
Dolores, I didn't hear a thing. I hadn't turned my hearing aid on yet. I usually forget to switch it on until someone reminds me. I didn't hear a word you said that night.
And if it wasn't Jeffrey or Howard or Alice, it must be you, Isabella.
Yep, you guessed it. It was me.
Ha! I knew it. You did it to get back at me for having an affair with your husband Claude, didn't you?
Dolores, you didn't!
Oh, hush up, cradle robber!
So you had an affair with my precious Claude? You and Claude? That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Hey, Betsy, did you hear that? Dolores and Claude had an affair.
But your initials aren't RG.
My first name is Ramona Gordon, R.G.
Well, honey, you can have them. As I've always said, good riddance to bad rubbish.
So what you're trying to tell us, Isabella, is that you took her body?
Whose body?
Guinevere's.
Guinevere's dead? I didn't even know she was sick.
Then it must have been Georgia, the dirty little... You've always been jealous of me, crazy woman. Or Olivia, the dirty little secret you've always been keeping. Or perhaps it was Beverly. You wanted to see me go crazy, so I'd have to quit your precious show. Guinevere, you tell me which one of these people did it. You were there.
All right, everyone, nice and easy. Back away slowly.
And now Dolores is going to tell us the whole story. Aren't you, Dolores?
I asked Guinevere to meet me early one night before rehearsal so we could discuss something important. I kept a window open in the dressing room so I could get in early before anyone else had arrived. After Guinevere got there, I snuck up behind her and let her have it with the candlestick. I knew that would be the last time she stole a part that should have been mine. After I killed her, I picked her up and laid her in the chest, which was no easy task. I thought it would be fun to have the body here while we rehearsed our murder mystery.
But Dolores, if you put Guinevere's body in the chest, wouldn't it still be there?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. One of you
You didn't run off to Europe with the men she met at the grocery store?
No? Who does that?
Here, you can hear what the letter she wrote to Isabella's husband.
She is right. They have the same handwriting.
Wait a minute. So Dolores had an affair with my precious Claude? I'll kill her!
Wait, but if she murdered Guinevere, shouldn't her body be in the chest? Wait a minute, Beverly. Perhaps Guinevere is still in the chest.
But the chest is empty!
No, this isn't the chest you think it is. Dolores, when did you say you hid Guinevere's body in the trunk?
Tuesday night, I believe.
Lloyd, could you come here a moment? You see, this here isn't Mrs. Styles' antique chest.
But of course it is. I would know my chest anywhere.
It only looks like your chest. You see, I had asked Mrs. Styles to sell it to me after the play was over, but she refused. And I knew she would never know the difference between her chest and a look-alike because she keeps it in her attic under a stack of quilts. So I hired Lloyd to build an exact replica, and we swapped them out Tuesday night after everyone left the theater.
Mr. Weaver, are you telling me that you stole my precious family antique trunk and replaced it with a replica?
Yes, ma'am, just as I stole Janet's original painting. You see, business has been kind of slow at the antique shop, and so I've been getting a little desperate for some quality merchandise.
Regular thief in our midst. So, Mr. Weaver, what you're trying to tell us is that you stole the chest with Guinevere Black's dead body in it and replaced it with this replica here?
That's right.
Did you need Mr. Weaver?
Lloyd, where did you hide Mrs. Styles' trunk after we swapped it out the other night?
Trunk? What trunk?
It's all right, Lloyd, they know. Where is it?
I hid it backstage under some lumber, covered it in a couple canvas tarpaulins under the stairs.
Wait, are you telling me Guinevere's dead body can actually be backstage? Oh, Guinevere. The real question is, who wants to go look and see?
Let me go.
Well, Mr. Biddle?
I suppose I should go look.
Be careful back there.
I better go too. If that thing drops on your foot, it'll hurt like the Dickens.
That's what fell the other night.
Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie, where the wild coyotes will howl o'er me, in a narrow grave just 6 by 3. Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie.
What happened? What did you see?
Everything Dolores said, it's true. Guinevere Black's dead body is in the trunk, deader than a doornail.
Wait, so what you're trying to tell me is she had an affair with my precious Claude, and she murdered poor, sweet Guinevere? There's only one thing left to do.
I guess this is where I take charge. You have the right to remain silent.
I guess you had better take me in too, Officer Biddle.
Mr. Weaver, I won't press charges as long as you promise to bring it back to me. I mean, a silly picture seems so insignificant next to a murdered human being.
Mr. Styles?
Well, all right. If you want it that badly, I guess I'll sell it to you. But I warn you, after what you tried to pull, you will pay handsomely for it.
I'll make it up to both of you, I promise.
You better.
It's just my cell phone. Hello? Okay, I'll tell them. Well, everyone, it's finally time to reveal my big secret.
Does that have anything to do with the murder?
No! You know how my boyfriend owns the ice cream parlor on the outside of town?
The scooper duper?
That's the one. Well, he wasn't sure if it was a sure thing, but now he knows he can pull it off. He's gonna provide banana splits to the casting crew after our opening night performance. I want to keep it a surprise, especially from Dolores, since she can't keep a secret.
That's your secret?
Well, I know it's not as exciting as a murder.
No, we appreciate it, Olivia. Just it seems like we won't be having a performance after all.
There's the cavalry. I called them while I was backstage. They're going to want to question each and every one of you, so I have to kindly ask you to step outside the theater.
I just love it when you take charge of it.
Evan, You called me Evan?
It was awfully brave of you running backstage the way you did.
It was?
Maybe you can take me for a drive in your convertible tonight.
You know, I got nerves playing steel. Just wait.
But what about Dolores?
Isabella will watch her.
But she's out too.
I don't think we have to worry about Dolores going anywhere for a while.
I'll come back for them in a day.
What happened?
I'm not sure, but oh, my head.
Oh yes, I remember now. They found Guinevere's body backstage.
That was a terrible thing you did.
Which? Murdering Guinevere or seeing your husband behind your back?
Now that you mention it, both. You are a terrible woman, Dolores Gordon.
One was just as easy to pull off as the other. The murder was more fun though. No offense, Isabella, your husband is quite a bore.
You're telling me.
Isn't it ironic though?
Is it what ironic?
Well, I mean, I still didn't get to be the star I dreamed of being. I guess nothing ever really works out for me anyway. At least I won't have anything to worry about now that I'm going to prison. Nothing but days of peace and quiet ahead for me. The whole thing just reminds me of a sad, sad song. Hush thee, my baby, lie still, thy mommy has gone to the mill to grind me some wheat, to make thee some meat. Oh, my dear baby, lie still.
My 10-year reunion's coming up, but I still think that like this group of seniors graduating is just one of the most phenomenal classes to ever come out of Calumet. And I haven't seen that many, but I mean, I think they're going to do so many great things in life. And I'm just really looking forward to what the future brings with our underclassmen, and thank you all for your support and for coming out today. So thank you very much.